You're watching a TGM production. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor or the stage is the one and only Tom Mason. Hello, welcome. Hello, and it's another jolly time. It's more comedy. Woo. And today we're talking, yes. So recently in my life, there's this car. Now, with this car, it was one of those vehicles that you get in, you didn't know there was a seat in the middle. So I thought there was a seat in the middle, and it was wintry at the time, and I nearly fell in. Now, cut to a couple of months later when that incident passed me, and thinking, no, that won't happen to me again. No, it didn't. But what did happen was this. So instead of me not too sure about the back seat, I get into this car. I get into the front seat. Now, bearing in mind, I don't think, to my recollection anyway, that I've ever been in the front seat of this car. And it's one of those, like, if a minibus could be a practical car that is a car, not a bus, this is what this vehicle is. And so I'm sitting in the front. I have no issues sitting in the front, right? No issues whatsoever. But what I do tend to have an issue with was getting out of the car. So I had forgotten at this point that it was a lofty height, because the car's like very high off the ground at this point. So I'm not thinking, yeah, there's a lofty height here. Let me get ready to get out. Oh, let me get ready. I don't psych myself up when, let's get ready. I don't psych myself up, so I just I'm sat there chatting away. This is my impression of chatting that doesn't require any context of what the conversation was. And the driver like, right, replying back to that conversation with and laughing away. And then what happens is I then open the door. And I don't look how far I am from the distance. So I step out. I unbuckle myself, obviously. Unbuckled, opened the door, stepped out, and then fell. Now, the driver has not noticed I've fallen out. I've noticed I've fallen out, but I still need to get stuff out from the back seat, and it's this big box. So I'm now falling, and now I need to shut the door, and I didn't feel like I shut the door properly. I opened it, reshut it, and I'm now really like on edge. Did you see me fall out the car? Who knows? So then I walk to the back, grab the box out. And then my father meets me, and I pass out the box, right? There we go. And then I'm walking very quickly, as I say, just falling out that car. You know that same car that fell in? Because I didn't realise there wasn't a seat in the middle. Well, this him. I'm falling out. Yeah, I don't know if she told me to fall out of it. It was like the drop, and why do these things keep happening to me? That's the question I ask myself. That's the question we always should ask ourselves. Why do they happen to me? And it's the question I keep on thinking, very, very peculiar. Peculiar is what I say. Peculiar is definitely what I say. And I'm like, well, that would happen to anyone else. They would laugh and walk off. But I think, no, this is great material. Me falling out the same car that I previously did material on, falling into. What's going to happen next? I'm going to crawl into the boot by accident. Well, the boot's probably too high for me to get into it this way. But it's like, it's leather. I think it must be like a leather-esque locking material. Don't think it is leather at all. But it was like I was covered in butter. I slipped out, right? And I didn't fall on the floor. I fell into my feet, but I even fell to an aspect of I didn't realise there was a big drop, and I landed on my feet perfectly. It's not as bad as the other time when I was waiting to be picked up. I was getting a lift, and I'm sat on. Well, it's not really that high. It's a wall, so I'm sat there, and I'm. Waiting, and then they arrive, right? So I, as they pull up, stand up. Now, every other time I've ever sat there on this wall, I've stood up and gone, Nothing wrong this time. Instead, I jump off and then fall into my bum. And I stand back up and I open the car door and then they say, didn't see anything. Did not see anything. I was laughing because now, right, and this has become sort of a thing. Now they expect, if I'm sat on that wall, will I fall over? Will I not? It's like a game. Will he? This would be the theme tune for the song for the game. Will he fall off that wall or will he not? Let's find out. But let's remember, it's not a very high drop. Let's remember, it's not a very high drop. Yes, you have to remember, it's not a very high drop, right? And you think, but it's like, not really. The wall is about there. I'm quite tall compared to that wall. Right? It's not. It's at the lower end of the wall, to be fair. It's one of those walls that slant down. I'm at the lower end of the wall. That's what makes it worse. It's the lower end of the wall. And I know that makes it 10 times worse. It'd be the lower end of the wall. Would have been a lot more funnier if it was a higher end, because then it would make sense and I fell over. But really, it's the lower end. So it makes no sense why I fell off. Who knows? The gravity. What gravity wanted that day. Who knows? The other thing I've noticed really is that when you seem to go to a bank, you think that it's going to be what you would expect. Nothing too extravagant would happen. You would do your bank transfers, you do all your stuff you do at a bank, but you wouldn't expect anything to happen, if you will. And so you're just waiting around whilst you do whatever you're doing at the bank, and the people that work at the bank are doing typing on the computer all the information that they need to be able to confirm and to accept your request of whatever you're after, and it gives you an opportunity to look around and just listen and go do, and then hear interesting things and go and then go, that's interesting, and then move on. But what I've always thought was weird, right? And this could probably, I don't know how many people this could happen to, but I was once stood about, and this person came in, and they went, and they asked this bizarre question. And what happened, and this was the story that I come to the conclusion, what had happened was, right, so they were walking, and it's like a town centre, if you will. Picture this, walking, town centre, and then here's where it happens, and they fall over. But at this point, because they're so close to the doors of the bank, right, so close to they've got the stuff ready because they're going to transfer some physical money into digital money. What I mean by that is they're going to put it into the bank account because they don't need it physically anymore. They want it on the bank account so they can use a credit, debit, or whatever they're using to pay stuff with. So they're walking in. Right, they get to the door. They're just nearly at the door. It's like not a million miles away, right? And they've got out their 50 quid, right? And they fall over. And you think, are they alright? You check to see if they're alright. You go, you're alright? And they go, yes, I'm alright, but not this money. And what's happened is somehow, on the trip down, the £50 that is now plastic, mind you, and I don't think plastic's that easy to rip. Or was it a classic £50? Was it still a paper copy? I don't know how many paper copies of money is left since the plastic money came in, but I could be wrong on every level. But they lean over, and as they fall, it's like that game Fruit Ninja when all the fruit comes on, you go. It's like that. It's like Fruit Ninja, right? So in the air, and as a Fruit Ninja's got the little sword and slicing through the melon and apricots and bananas, and the £50 has gone into 50 million different smaller pieces. Right. So now you've got a handful of this one note. So you walk into the bank. You've checked to make sure that the person's alright that's fallen over. You've checked to see if you've got any grades. You're alright. They go, yes, I'm alright. I'm not bleeding from anywhere. I fell on me bag, but the money is not alright. How do I do this? What do I do? So then you're in a panic going, what do I do? And then you decide the one best solution. Run in and talk to the bloke that's got an iPad going, excuse me. And he goes, yes, how can I help you? Can I still transfer this? And he goes, well, what happened to it? And you go, well, my friend fell over and ripped it. Don't ask me how it's ripped that many times. I can't even rip into a box of Tang Fastics, but somehow this can be ripped into, right? So you ask me, you tell me what the science is between me not being able to rip into a box of Tang Fastics, but someone can fall over and rip into that many shreds. £50. There's plastic. A tub of Tang Fastics is plastic. And that's a tub. This is the sturdiest thing I've ever seen. I haven't got it shoved in a shredder. It wouldn't shred. I've had it in the tumble dryer. It wouldn't tumble dry. I've had it in every situation. I've even put it in a blender and it wouldn't blend. To be fair, I really had an old blender, so that's beside the point. But I've been trying to, my entire life, since these have turned up, trying to see how indestructible are they the Nokia 3310 of money. Is what I always want to know, but I never find out. So you can tell me, with all your wisdom, how can that happen? Because I, personally, would love to know. So if you could please tell me, that will be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, thank you. And you stood there listening to this, unfolding, and going, wow, this is the weirdest experience of my life. And then you go, I need to remember that. Let's remember that. And then you sort of then forget it. But then you do remember it at the key moment when you need to remember it. Woohoo! The other thing that's happened in the history of my life was a good couple of years ago now. I did GCSE Performing Arts, which if you really want to ask, how is GCSE Performing Arts different to GCSE Drama? Well, Performing Arts is singing, dancing, acting. You choose one of them. Drama is just acting. And you always thought, well, Performing Arts isn't going to have an exam, is it? It's going to be all practical. No. It's got an exam. You have to know your musical theatre. You have to know your knowledge of the venues and whatnot. But that's beside the point. So, one of the things you do a solo performance, and you do what is called a group performance. And so, what we decided as a collective to get the best mark possible is I would use my key skill that a lot of people have. A lot of people do it professionally, mind you, but I have a key skill being an auctioneer. Going on, gold, sold, going once to the tripod. And that is me being an auctioneer. So we all thought, well, what are we gonna sell off? Well, we'll auctioneer some items. We'll do it at a funeral, right? I've got some items. I've got the Heidi High jacket. Nope, none of you got that. Nope, none of you gonna reply with hoody ho. Nope. Okay. And so then what happens is I then go, well, we need a coffin, and we're not gonna buy a coffin. We're gonna make a coffin. So I get some assistants, and the coffin gets made, right? And it's this massive coffin, right? Made out of cardboard and what looks like wallpaper type material to make it the rustic, woodish look. And it's beautiful and amazing, right? And that's the perks of wearing a hat, trying to balance it. And you have this amazing looking coffin, right? Can't open it because they've sealed it shut, which is perfect, which means that it's easy to carry. So then what you have to do, right? You have to try and get it in the back of a car. Now, at this point in life, we had a reasonably sized amount of car that put it in. You shove it in, and it looks like you're in a hearse at this point because you've had to shove it from the back of the boot, and it's gone roughly near where the middle bit before the front. So you've blocked out that middle seat completely and a bit of that end. So you can't really fit other people in, which becomes a nightmare if you're giving people a lift. It's like, do apologise, there's just a a fake coffin in the way. I wouldn't ask too further questions of that. Yeah, and don't question it. Please, let's not question this. We don't need to ask any questions. And so we get it into school, and we carry it in, and it looks odd. But I say, well, it's for GCSE performing arts. For GCSE performing arts, don't worry. For GCSE performing arts, so you take it to the room it needs to be in, and you do the performance, and all goes well. You've managed to get this group to be bearers holding it, and you've gone, this is weird. And at this point, I'm watching extras. I'm rewatching extras. So I want to play Heard Dear Fought a Mountain for the woman that made the makeup. Cat Stevens. Team for the Tenement, I think it's called. Anyway, so that's playing as it's coming in. And it gets put down. And anyway, so you do the performance, and it went really well, smashing. So the hide coat to the woman in blue. Come on down. Right, our next box is a box set of bread. 75, 85, 95, 400, 450, fold. The DVD box set of the British sitcom Bread. So, gotta get up. That one. And so no one understands any of this, because they're all really young. So am I, but it's me. Don't question. And then what happens is so then you leave it and you do the performance and you go home, and then you forget you've left this coffin there. So what happens? We're all just sat about at home, watching TV, doing whatever we're doing, milling about, doing our own thing. We get a phone call from the school. Hello, and the person will go, hello. Would you be able to please yeah, I don't know the best way to word this, but could you please come and collect your coffin? Oh yes. Sorry. If you don't, we will bin it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna come and collect it to take the tip. Oh, okay. Thank you. Could you come immediately, like in the next few days? Because it's just creeping us out. It's so realistic. It's creeping us out. Yes, I do apologise. Put the phone down. You go. Right. We have to go and collect the coffin. Yeah, we're gonna have to go together. Okay. So then I go with the driver, and we're walking in. We drove in, obviously. We're here at the front door. We walk in and go, hello. We're here to collect the coffin. Oh, you're the... yes. Just through there. This is weird. And I go, well, don't ask. It's for GCSE Performing Arts. It's not real. It looks super realistic, and that's the beauty of it, but it's not real. So we get it. And then when we try to walk down, it's in the arm of the drivers now, because I'm trying to just go, what? GCSE Performing Arts, GCSE Performing Arts, GCSE Performing Arts, and they get through the door, get through the door, and then you have to work out how do you get it in the car. Now, you're at the top car park of the school, where the staff normally park, and you try to get it in the boot. And then you have to try and work out how to take it home, or where do you put it at home, because you've managed to get it out the house, because you didn't need to store it for that long, and then you have to find the tip. And that's the bit that becomes really awkward, and then you funnel in the coffin back into a car to take it to the tip. And you have to say, no, sorry, it's my son's GCSE Performing Arts. He needed a coffin. He did it. It went very well, thanks for asking, but it's going in the bin now. Where do I put this? It's cardboard, with a bit of wallpaper-ish material to make it look so realistic. Yeah, right. And then they put it in the bin and go, phew! That's that done. And then you took photos and you're that impressed with it. You thought, phew, I'm so glad that's over and done with. And that's the beauty of doing GCSE Performing Arts, because who knew at that point would I be able to make my own coffin. But thank you for listening. Bye-bye.